Social media, we have people with blogs as well and things like that we've been talking about here this morning. We provide a consultancy, we provide a service provision, we provide hosting for digital media, we provide training, and we essentially try and address people's needs in this area. What got me into this is a little bit of the blended learning that people have been talking about here. Is that 3 years ago I was an engineer working in Dell here in Limerick, and I became aware of, nearly 4 years ago now at this stage, blogs and podcasts and the power of them. And I became aware that I was actually increasingly, in my work, going online looking for answers to questions, as I had been doing for years, but that increasingly I was finding the answer to practical questions in actual social media situations, in blogs in particular, where you might find the answer to a question that someone else had already asked that question on their blog, someone else had pointed to the answer, and the answer might be on the blog of a subject matter expert in that area. So I found that increasingly this socially driven online media was very, very useful to me. The thing I found in response to that was that informally learning over a period of 3 or 4 years, I found, quite frankly, that I did more for my professional development than I had done in the previous 10 or 15 years since I had left college. So that my feeling is very strongly that this kind of media and this kind of learner-centered and learner-driven and informal or blended or whatever terms that you use, I feel that a lot of these elements are very, very powerful ways to learn. So that's what we're about, and that's what we do. I'm just throwing that up there as an example. What I think you mentioned, Lorna, you were just saying that people are very familiar with iPods. Okay, feel free to own up and admit if you're not familiar with MP3s, if you're not as comfortable as you'd like to be, okay? And let's face it, things are changing so fast and happening so fast at the moment that not everyone can be. And that's the way, personally, that I am, believe it or not. This is an iPod, okay? There are a range of other MP3 players out there, a lot of which I'm not familiar with. There's a whole lot of new technology that has come on stream in the last 2 weeks, literally, that I just find I cannot keep up with. Some of that I think maybe Brendan Bulger may talk about later this afternoon as well, but there is so much out there that the first thing we need to do is just admit it. If you're not, do not feel under pressure to say, oh yeah, I know about that, or the kids have that, or whatever. They do, but it's maybe not as simple as it is. I'm going to focus on just one practical example. Lorna has shown you how to produce some media from a lecture situation. We've just done that in a very simple way just now as well, where we've taken a piece of an MP3 and we've actually produced that, recorded an MP3 from a conversation on a portable recording device there. I'm just going to show you how you can listen back to that. Okay, that'll be good. What I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to spend any more time with this right now. How much time do I actually have in this session? I'm over time now. Let's just take 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is, perhaps during the break later on, I'll show you how you can take that, or I might steal someone else's time later on to show you how you can actually take that and that media and publish it online very, very easily. I want to show you very briefly what happens on the other end of that and how very simple, much simpler that can be. This is the iPod, and the reason I bring it here is, and the reason I show it to you as an example of an MP3 player, it is probably the best MP3 and media, and in this case video player that's available on the market at the moment. And one of the reasons for that is that Apple like to think about everything from the user's point of view and make things